obviously you can do anything you set your mind to, but there's a certain thing you're going to master and be great at. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I feel like that was music.
Went from Beamer Coops to Pencils. Somewhat distant is so part that one more time. Part that one more time. Part that shit like one more time. They part that one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first inaugural episode of the One More Time Music Podcast. I'm your host, Playback Ben, with my co-host, Henry with a 3. The E was already taken. Welcome, my friend.
Yes.
Henry, who do we have in the podcast today?
With some guy we found outside.
I'm glad y'all let me in. Real shit. I knew I was like, opportunity is behind that door.
No, this is KasOnTheMic in the flesh with
right
us
here
for our inaugural episode. Thank you so much for coming in.
It's a fucking honor, man.
Couldn't have chose a better first guest, honestly.
Oh, yes.
No, we really appreciate you, man. So the One More Time podcast, just for everyone that's listening, really our goal, our vision, the mission behind it is to let artists and creatives in the music industry, as well as business people in the industry, tell their stories. I mean, we want to have genuine conversations with genuine people like you, Kas. So we really appreciate you coming on. Henry, thank you for co-hosting. Really excited about this. This is a new thing we're doing. Just trying to give people a platform to really tell their story of where they've come from, where they're at today, and where they're going, right? Real simple. Hopefully we'll have some fun along the way, and we'll get some good stories out of this. So appreciate you, Kas, for joining. So let's just dive right in.
Let's do it.
I like to start with kind of your childhood and background, right? So when I noticed your Instagram bio had a Colombian flag on it, I just want to know, are you from Colombia? Where were you born? Where were you raised? Kind of tell the people, where you're from.
So I was born in the year 1995. We can make this a whole like movie thing, you know what I'm saying?
95.
But no, I was born in Cali, Colombia in 1995. I came to America at the age of I was probably like 4, I would say, around that time. I first moved to New York. I probably lived there from the age of like 4 to 7, I would say. And then
Which borough?
Queens.
Shout out Queens.
Shout out Queens.
Shout
man.
out
a lot of dope people come out from Queens, man.
A lot of dope people come from New York in general.
In general, yeah. That is. For
you being
time.
one of them.
There's a lot of people, so the odds are higher. No, diss to New York.
All right, Debbie Downer.
But no, yeah, and then I moved. Well, I would say, since I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, at the age of like 7, I would say my culture, and I was raised here. So it's like
so you don't really attribute much to like your times in either Colombia. Obviously, you were super young, or New York.
Yeah, I mean, no, I always show love. I mean, I would visit New York every summer. So
okay, still family up there?
Yeah, family's still in Queens, so I would be there, every other summer, if not every summer.
But your formative years.
But my formative, like, who I was around and what created, you know what I'm saying, I'll give it to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Colombia, but as Drake says, Atlanta adopted me.
Yep.
I know I was going to use that one time.
So has Hispanic culture impacted you either from a personal perspective or an artistry perspective? Like, would you say that? Oh yeah, you're Hispanic, Latino through and through, or like what kind of parts do you think have really?
Undeniably, I was I grew up around it. It was played at house parties, salsa, bachata, like all that was always an influence in my life. So it's like undeniably I am like. So it's like I'm a mixture, I'm a balance of both. You know what I'm saying? So I got that root in me, but I still got the American culture in me, so I could like find that balance between both.
Okay.
Dope.
So you moved to Atlanta at the age of 7, right? Had you been into music yet, or are you into music since you moved to Atlanta? Like, where does music come into play?
Well, for me, I feel like music, honestly, has been a part of my life since I was born. Like, if you believe in destiny or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes life leads you, or the universe or God, whatever your perspective is on the whole situation. It's like life leads you towards a certain direction. And I feel like that direction, obviously you can do anything you set your mind to, but there's a certain thing you're going to master and be great at. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I feel like that was music. Like my mom would show me pictures to this day, like of me when I was 3, just picking up a toy guitar and playing and singing and looking at people at the TV, mimicking them and just doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it was something I always aspired to do. You know, I always took that and was like, yo, like that's cool, like sound and instruments and, you know.
So what's the first instrument you picked up?
Well,
The toy guitar.
yeah.
Second instrument.
He quit right after that.
No, but see, funny thing is, the first instrument I ever took lessons for and tried to learn, my mom was like, you should learn the violin. And I'm like 8 years old, and I'm like, I mean, that's, you know, you're 8 and you're like looking at stuff and you just like G.I. Joes and stuff that's very loud. So I'm just like, the violin, like,
It was too elegant for you?
Yeah, it was just like, it was kind of corny, but I'm an 8-year-old, so what the hell do I know? You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, damn, I wish
I took
violin. I took those lessons, because right now I'd be going crazy with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't learn the violin, unfortunately.
Instead of Cass on the mic, you'd be Cass on the violin.
You know, playing some crazy orchestra band on. Yeah, like that's in another timeline, but we'll get it. But the first instrument I picked up was the drums.
Fellow drummer.
Yes.
Love to hear it.
I mean, with hair like that, I would peg you as a drummer versus a violinist?
Violinist. Yeah.
Violinist.
It'd be
Okay.
a crazy violin look, but yeah, violinist look. But yeah,
There you go.
I picked up the drums, I would say, when I was 9. My mom got me the first drum kit.
Did she get earplugs?
No, not yet. Actually,
Did she hate you? Did she beat?
Did the
beat
neighbors
you
call?
Yeah.
Eventually, they realized that was too much, so they got me the electric drum set. I used to,
God, shout out to the electric drum kit inventor.
oh man, that guy!
What an innovator.
He is. He's like
Probably a millionaire.
He was probably one of those parents that was tired of the shit. He was like,
You're right. Most good ideas come from a pain point that you've
I gotta
experienced on
figure
your own.
this shit out.
My kid is pissing me off with those drums. I gotta find something.
No, yeah. So eventually, she got me I got the electric drum kit, and I just connected that shit and played that. But hey, it still did the job. Still got the practice.
So,
you know
so did you join a band? I mean, what was the drum kit? You know, what was it leading towards? Why did you play drums? Like, you know, did you join a band? Or?
At the time, I still believe in God and all the church stuff, but at the time I was raised in church and we would go to church constantly and stuff. So I wanted to learn the drums to become part of the band at church, you know? So I picked up the drum lessons. When I was 9 and I first learned it, I never took initiative. But around the time where I was 12, I went to these drum classes and picked up just a simple pattern, just boom, boom, boom. And I remember it took me like an hour to get that shit in the drum lessons. And then that was like a Friday. And then that Sunday, I went to church, and after the service, I would just go to the drum set when everything was done, and I would just go take that practice and just boom, you know, get better at it. And then at the time, there was a youth band being created at the church. So I was like, all right, let's see if, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's see, maybe I could become a part of this, you know what I'm saying? I never thought nothing of it. And then I'm here playing the drums, and the youth band leader's like, yo, you play the drums? You want to join?
You're like, hell yeah, I play the drums.
And it's like, yeah, at that point, it's like 50% of me was like, hell yeah. And then 50% of me is like, yo, you just learned this like fucking pattern. Like, do you play the drums? But it's like that moment, I took it and I was like, you know what? Like, fuck it, let's go. You know, like, let's make this happen. And I'm glad I took that step, because that made me a very dope musician.
You have just activated
One more
a new feature we have on the One More Time podcast.
Yeah. Take that chance, people.
Tell them again.
If you never take that chance, you never know who you're going to become. My 12-year-old self was there, and I didn't even know a simple drum pattern, and I said yes, and I became a very dope musician. So it's like, take them chances when they're given to you, because that don't come that often.
Opportunity does not always knock.
Exactly.
So do you still play instruments today? Or
oh,
like
yeah.
what?
Oh, yeah. I won't say right now, actually, I'm getting back to my roots and playing it consistently. I just got a piano. I just got GarageBand, and I'm touching into my roots, and I'm trying to get my another electric drum kit. Look at that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Bring that
full
to the studio
circle, yeah.
sometime.
oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get that shit
Hook
going.
that guy up. Put an 808.
Exactly, go
Have it trigger
crazy.
an 808.
But yeah, I'm definitely tapping into my roots. I won't say that I've been constantly playing how I should have, but I feel like playing instruments is like riding a bike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can't ride. You
No,
don't ride a bike.
I
for years.
actually I played saxophone growing up, and I mean Henry
That's
knows
awesome.
I brought it to the studio before, and I clearly don't have the chops I used to, right? But I can still
Exactly.
pick it up, and like it's muscle memory,
And
right?
if
It's
you
like to
practice
some degree
for some time,
Yeah.
you'll be there. Like give me an
I
hour.
wish, I wish that I put more time into it for sure, because it's just so fun and it's just creative, right? I mean, I'm assuming it helps with your artistry in general, right?
Of course.
Even if you just dabble back into that, music, musicianship, if you will, like actually playing instruments, I feel like that's a really solid way to open up like creative doors, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it gives me that core foundation of like being like, how do I say this? Like understanding that music is more than one person or more than one sound. You know what I'm saying?
It's collaborative.
Like, exactly. It's like we can do so much individually, but what we can do together is way bigger. That's what paints the bigger picture.
Yeah, that is
One more time.
that is a
One-
moment.
one-
When we drop
one-
gems on the
one-
One More Time
one-
podcast,
one-
we have
one-
them say it one more time. Let them know for the people in the back.
Yes.
Should we have a tally about how many one more times we drop throughout an episode and
have an
See
award show
who
and
gets the
shit.
most one more time gems.
Hey man, I'm dropping gems tonight, so y'all better be ready.
You're off to a hot start for episode 1. I'm not gonna lie.
the bar will be set very
Set
high.
high.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. As
So
high
give that
as
to
me
him.
right now.
One
more time.
One more time.
Talking about high shit.
So hit the blunt first, and then give that last gem to them one more time.
So before I spark this up, people, if you never take that chance and never take that opportunity and break out of that zone, it's never gonna happen. So take that chance, take that leap, make that shit thrive, people, because you got it inside you.
And if you need a team to do it, and if you got to get collaborative,
Take it, because you can do great things yourself, but together you'll take over the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes multiple. You know why do you think a puzzle comes with a whole bunch of different pieces? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. One piece is dope, but you put all them together, you get the whole picture.
rappers have the best analogies.
Yeah. No, and I think that, building a team is always an interesting topic, right? Amongst artists, because the creative space, it's not so simple, I would say, to build the right team, because creativity is so personal and vulnerable, right? So being able to align yourself with someone that can fuel that, right? And also add value. I mean, that's tough, right? It's not a typical business where can this guy help me sell more product and help me cut my costs, and is he a business partner, right? Like it's part business, don't get me wrong,
But
like
it's
we're all in this to
Relationship
live
as well.
but yeah, it's that relationship that helps fuel the creativity that inevitably is what you're trying to do, right? I mean, your product is creativity. I mean, that's what the business that you're in.
Exactly.
So that's interesting. So you were exposed to music, played some instruments, right? You still are dabbling there, but where did you consider yourself a hip hop artist and a rapper first and foremost? So once
sure.
again, I know you make other types of music. You have influences from other genres and cultures, if you will. But where did hip hop come into play? I mean, how did you?
So
Was it New York? Was it when you were here in Atlanta? I mean, what?
around the time I was probably like 10, 11 years old, I grew up with my bro in church. His name's Junior. Like I'll tell people
Shout
like
out Junior.
Yeah, shout out my bro Junior. He's like, I'll tell people he's my cousin. We're not blood, but it's like our relationship is like, people say blood's thicker than water, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, water keeps you alive. You feel me? So it's like a lot of times.
One more time.
God, Cass,
He's on fire.
calm
Yeah.
down with the gems.
Real shit though, like without water, we would all be dead. It's just as important as oxygen. So it's like a lot of times you got to find that middle line between all those relationships you have. And I would say my bro Junior is like fam to me, you know what I'm saying? So coming to you, answering your question about the whole hip hop and where to come, like me and him, he was always like a hip hop head. He was a big Lil Wayne, Tupac, Biggie fan. So around the time I was 11, he was probably like 13, 14. he was one of the first people before the YouTube thing was big that would always go on YouTube and just searching. Yo, look at this. Like, observe like different perspectives of how people do shit and all this. So it's like, you know, me being a person, you know, and I was young at the time, but music always intrigued me. So me being a person that's like loving music, and then I'm learning about the rap game and people rapping and on beats and how that can affect you if you relate to it. And you know what I'm saying? It's not, and I'm young at that time. It's not that I went through a whole bunch of shit and I'm like, oh yeah, I feel that, Tupac. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was there, you know, but it's like, it's still like made me feel good. Like, it inspired me to do something. So it's like that process took me from just like a musician to wanting to become an artist. You know, like speak.
And like, how old were you at this time?
I was 11. I was 11
shit,
at the
okay.
time.
So
you know what I'm saying?
mad young.
Exactly. Like, it just, I knew even at that age, like, yo, if I do this, and regardless, like, if people listen to me or not, I could speak to people and people are gonna listen and want to fucking, you know, be a part of whatever I'm doing.
Was JR a rapper?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was definitely a rapper. He's gonna hate this if I say it, but he went by the name of Lil Mex.
Lil Mex.
Yeah.
Is he of Mexican descent?
Yeah, he's a Mexican descent. He's the first Lil Mex. He was Cap G before Cap G was started of.
Oh wow,
I'll say that right now.
Okay,
like,
I was on the record.
I was a witness to that.
Okay,
you know, and I wouldn't just say that to say that. You feel me?
Yeah.
But
so,
yeah, no.
So make sure to pass the blunt to our studio guest, our audience member.
Quentin Quo. Yeah.
He's eyeing it like it's a trophy. Shout out Q in the building. Appreciate you, man. So Lil Mex and Cats on the Mic at the time?
No.
Okay.
Cats on the Mic wasn't even thought of yet. That's funny.
So what was your? Did you have an artist name, or were you just kind of vibing with what Lil Mex was doing? Like, what was your deal?
So my name is Christopher, right? But they call me Chris.
Okay.
Well, I would say people call me Chris at that time. So I was like, and Hurricane Chris was popping at that time. Hey baby,
Shout out Hurricane Chris.
Hey baby, yeah,
baby.
of course.
I was literally like, what song did he do again?
Yeah.
So thank you for refreshing.
Yeah,
my
like
memory.
that shit was going crazy at that time, and I was like, damn, like I wish I had the fucking name Hurricane Chris. Like, what can we great value that name? Wait, like, what can we come up with that?
the spinoff.
And we thought of Weatherman C.
Weatherman C
was my first rap name. You know, I think this is the first time I ever got it okay with. But yeah, Weatherman C, man.
That shit's kind of hard.
I kind of like it.
Now I should make it an alter ego. Like, that shit with the rap names now, it's like, fuck
It should
it.
definitely be an AKA. I mean, that's for sure.
It sounds like a character.
Hell yeah.
In a story.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
So Weatherman C. Mm-hmm. Did you start making music with Lil Mex? Like, what were you doing? Like, were you writing?
Yeah,
were you recording? Did you
actually,
even know how to record?
The first hook I ever made, we were in the mall. I was walking with Junior, Lil Mex at the time.
Yeah, I like calling him.
Let's go with that.
I was like, I like Lil Mex more than Junior. Sorry, Junior.
We were walking with. I was walking with Mex at the time, and I'm telling him, I was like, yo, I thought of this crazy hook. And he's like, nah, bro, we got a lot of music. And I'm like, no, listen to this. And it was Bubba Benjamins. I got the Benjamins, Bubba Benjamins. I ain't never touched a 20. And he was like, oh. And mind you, I'm 12 years old at this time. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, shit. Okay, fuck all that other stuff we got. Let's go record that. You know what I'm saying? And we went and recorded that track, and then we're like, this is dope. But
you went to a real studio?
No.
You know, when you
You're
say
right.
record, it's like
You're
you're
right,
11.
They're still children.
You're 12.
Yeah.
No, he actually had a friend that had this dope, like, little, he probably had like a computer mic, you know what I'm saying? And he connected it to some software he had. And and he had a little booth. We went in, he played the beat, and we recorded that shit. Just like that. I never recorded in my life. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't say that's the first like legit track we made. When I was around
Do you have a
12.
copy of this record?
Can we get an exclusive?
No, not this one.
Is this anywhere on SoundCloud?
MySpace?
I wish. None of that was even popping at the time. That's what's crazy. Then the next song we made was called "Look at What You Do to Me," and no, I'm not shitting you. It took us a week to write in his room. We were there for a week writing this like girl Justin Bieber before Justin Bieber came out type track. You know
Very different how you would make a track today.
Exactly.
Having been in several sessions.
Like thinking
but that's also that's up for debate, right? Of like how long should a song take to write?
That's very true.
It's kind of just going with the times. Everything I think is happening faster, quicker these days.
That's very true.
Instant gratification. You got to make more beats. Producers have to make more beats. Artists have to make more songs.
Definitely a week writing a song in this day and age. I'm not saying it, it happens, right? But I would say people would be shocked that is,
I think there's value in
timeline,
both,
right?
I think there's value in getting good at knocking out quick vibes, but also taking some time to master.
I remember I was watching a Big Sean interview, and he's like, yeah, man, I had this song from like 2011, and I just dropped it in my album in 2016. Like, I was just working on it from then to there. So it's like, and then again, there's other people like, yo, I made this song here in 30 seconds, and now, you know what I'm saying? So it also depends on the vibe. But I would say at that time, we weren't into like the song creating process. So we were so like, how do we make this catchy? How would this work? And for even me being 12 and him being 14, like we were like really thinking, how can this pop? And at that time, 106 in Park was the big thing. And they were having like artists come in every Friday to show out their performance, and the winning artist would get like a shot of a label deal or some shit like that. So we were like, yo, if we make this catchy girl song and we go on 106 in Park, we could fucking win and, make some shit happen. You know what I'm saying? But
taking opportunities.
Yeah. And so you and Mex, you and Junior are writing songs together. You're recording some together. Like, did you know that you wanted to be an artist? Like, did you always have that in you? Did he inspire you to be an artist? Like, were your parents supportive about you being an artist, or did they
No, what's funny is
how did your artistry actually start?
He was in the whole rap thing, and I was like, I'm younger, so of course I'm gonna be like, well, fuck it, I want to do the whole rap thing. You know what I'm saying? And I always loved music, so it's like, fuck it, like why not? So we made this song, and what's funny is we bought like 20 CDs and just put one song on all 20 CDs.
God, CDs.
Remember those days?
Ooh.
Like
another time.
For real. That's how long it makes me feel
I don't
old.
think I've seen a CD or held a CD in about
crazy.
years.
So I had a session about a month ago, and the guy wanted me to mix his record, and he had the track outs. He had the stems on a CD. And somehow I actually have still a little peripheral thing that plugs into my laptop.
That's why Henry
takes a CD.
He's like, I got that.
Or
Sure
he just
enough.
has old ass clients.
He was not of the younger generation.
Hey,
We'll say that.
whatever gets
I'm
it
sure
done.
some of the artists that come through the studio would not even know what they're looking at with a CD. I mean, quite literally.
For sure.
They don't know DVDs. They don't know CDs. They don't know physical.
What is
Hey,
a
product,
what are
right?
physical things?
At
Yeah.
a
It's
point,
just the
that's
phone.
what was running everything. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But
God, I remember being like the coolest kid in your group of friends if you had a CD burner, and there was like some CD burners that were better than others, right? Like they could do more, or I don't even remember, right? But it
having
was like,
that and having gum, you were the most popular kid.
If you had a CD burner and gum,
you was popping. You was popping.
yeah, now it's like if you have weed and booze or something,
Yeah,
right?
or a Ferrari, you're
Yeah.
the most popular kid.
or a yacht.
yeah.
Simpler times, man. Simpler times.
So Weatherman C, then Cass on the mic,
Oh
or
no, not even close.
We're not there yet.
I wish. So
pump the brakes.
when I was at Weatherman C and we created "Look at What You Do to Me," I didn't say that's the first song legit after Benjamins.
Was that what it was called?
No, Benjamins was the first one I was telling y'all.
I know, I
But
didn't know.
we didn't
But
really.
that's
finish.
a crucial part of it. Is the
Yeah,
bubba.
it was all
I'm thinking of the title
Artist
BBBBB Benjamins.
at the time it sounded like a hit. Soulja Boy was popping, like it was, you know what I'm saying.
I could see that in that
We
era.
should have
Shout out
went with
Soulja
it.
Boy.
But yeah, after "Look at What You Do to Me," that was the song, the girl song we wanted to put on 106 in Park and shit. But it was time had passed before we really put out another song, because I was young. I didn't know really if I wanted to go with this making music stuff or being an artist, you know what I'm saying? But around the age of 16, I was still rapping. So I was like, Weatherman C is kind of corny. Like, this was the time where, like, the J. Coles and the Kendricks and, you know, Kanye was doing the 808 and Heartbreak. So it's like hip-hop was on this, like, lyrical and, like, very vibey tone. And I didn't feel like a name like Weatherman C
Didn't fit in the landscape.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, like, what other name can I develop or to become, you know, a dope artist name? And the name Casanova always like resonated with me, and not because I was like this pimp or this player when I was 16. It was just the name itself. Because Casanova, there's obviously a story behind the person, but the name itself always resonated with me.
It's elegant.
Exactly, it's elegant as fuck, and it went with my name Christopher. So I was like Chris Casanova. I was like, that's dope. Like that'll work. You know what I'm saying?
Chris Casanova.
Yeah, like we'll go with that. And that was my second artist name. Chris Casanova. I probably had that.
That is
name.
smooth.
Yeah, it did work.
I still like Weatherman C personally.
Kind of with you on that one, but
I
gotta say,
honestly, Weatherman C is a motherfucking hit. Like I might create like an alter ego or some shit.
Yo, I'm trying to think. You know, I manage Henry, right? I work with Henry on the regular. I'm trying to remember his first name.
H.
That was before Henry with a 3.
I know you had to have a name before Henry with a 3.
before
the E was taken.
I had a name for about a year, I would say, maybe a year and a half. Have y'all seen the movie Holes?
Oh yeah,
of course.
And read the book. I read the book first. The book's really good too.
Fucking classic.
I
think
Mr.
it was one
Sure.
of those where I didn't read the book and I only watched the movie. I hate those people.
Read the book.
I hate those people, but I think I'm that guy with this.
Either way, you remember Mr. Sir.
Of course.
Yes.
So I was producing under the name Mr. Sir. I had the tag was John Voight's actual voice from the movie saying, "My name is Mr. Sir."
That's hard.
It was a cool tag. I'm not gonna lie, but it was kind of goofy, you know. And I think goofy.
But
is
you're
a part of my
goofy,
brand
yeah.
for sure.
And that's
I'm not trying
exactly
to
how
hide
I
that.
felt about with the Weatherman thing.
Yeah.
We might have to do a duo tape with our like other artists.
God.
Weatherman C, produced by Mr. Sir.
Shit, we
That's just got a ring to
It
it.
does. We could think of a whole concept behind that thing.
I can only imagine the records that would be made under
Right?
under those monikers.
Not even talking about the videos. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So Chris Casanova, and then you stuck with that for what you said, a year, 2
I would
years?
say a year and a half.
Okay.
And then I'm like going back to the whole cousin, like my cousin Junior.
God,
Going
Junior
back-
is a big part of your story.
Shout out Junior one more time.
Yeah, that's
One more
that's
time.
love.
One
That's
more
my
time.
brother. You know what I'm saying? Like he really showed me the whole like perspective of like formula. You know what I'm saying? Like every artist had a formula. Every artist did a niche. Every artist, like look at what they're doing. And like I said before, the whole YouTube thing, like going on YouTube to see what the fuck is popping and this and that. He was one of the first people I ever saw. Like, yo, shit, YouTube could teach you a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's all you need to learn
I'm
anything.
definitely a student of YouTube University.
Real
I'm
shit.
pretty sure I learned how to, well, we'll see how this goes, but I think I learned how to set up this podcast, of course, via YouTube University.
Great
Henry,
job.
I know, is not only a teacher on YouTube University,
Hey, real
shout out his
shit.
YouTube channel,
Real
but
shit. Hey.
he definitely has learned, countless things from YouTube. So,
Oh yeah,
How to.
yeah.
do anything.
Yeah, exactly. So Junior was doing that, and then how did you come up with Cass on the mic?
So when I was doing research, I always became this person of like going on the web, seeing who's coming up, who's next. I'm like, let me do some research on if there's any other Chris Casanova. Like if you're an artist or a creative or you're trying to start a business, you got to see if a name's available, or you got to see if,
One
you know
more
what I'm
time.
saying?
One more
You have
time.
activated.
One more time. One more time.
Yeah,
One
like,
more
if
time.
Gem
you're-
drop, repeat.
If you're
signal.
doing anything, like you got to do your research on that shit. You know what I'm saying? When they say like the lack of learning or the lack of discipline in something like will make you succeed or fail, that's some real ass shit.
It's going to be very hard to succeed if your rap name is John.
Exactly. There's a lot of Johns, and the only one I recognize is Cena. Hey, shout out John Cena, man. That's a childhood hero growing up, man.
Shout out John
And he about
Cena.
to be in the next Fast and the Furious. I'm
Yo,
excited.
random story.
John,
but-
we'd love to have you on the podcast.
Deadass.
random story. Don't mean to interject, but lived in an apartment complex. The guy with the poolside apartment, right? So one of the apartments whose balconies was facing the pool, he had a giant wooden cutout of John Cena on his balcony.
Awesome.
So John Cena was
Wow.
always overlooking
Fucking
our
awesome.
pool sessions and shenanigans.
like you couldn't even see
And
him.
It was like a legendary thing, though. So much
Like
so,
a handcrafted wooden
yes,
sculpture.
Yes. No,
Wow.
not that intense. Calm down. But
That would've
but
been awesome.
but
But still.
what's so great is the apartment complex has pictures on their website of like, rent here, come sign a
They're
lease.
using it for
And there's
advertisement.
no, they didn't mean to, I don't think, but it's literally in the web or on the website.
That's
there's the
gangster.
picture of John Cena because they had to get pool pictures right for
You
the
can't
new
pay
site.
for
know.
that type of promotion.
And
They know it's there.
They're like,
they
yeah,
know what they
John
did.
Cena's big.
So-
Put him in there.
Yeah.
Enough about John Cena. Okay, so Cass on the mic.
Yeah. Okay. So I was doing my research, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I ran into an artist named Chris Casanova. And at the time, he already had like 20,000 followers. Like he was doing stuff. So I was like, damn, I can't compete with this guy. I'm like 17. I'm like, fuck it. Like I got to change my name. What do I change my name to? And, shout out my cousin Junior again. Who was
Junior.
God bless.
I remember in the intro of every song, at the time I was recording with my boy Zeno Carr. Right now he's a part of I Love Friday. They're very dope artists too. Like they got some dope shit going on. We were making music, and when every time I would record a track, I would be like, yo, it's Cass on the mic. But just saying it as like an intro, you know what I'm saying? Like just be like,
okay.
Cut.
It was your ad lib.
Exactly. It was like an
was
ad lib.
like-
Like I would just be like, it's Cass on the mic. And so he was like, yo, you say that before every track. Why don't you go by the name of Cass on the mic? And exactly Twilight moment, like, bling, genius.
Light went off.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do that. And then we got it and we put it together. And perfect time to say this to the audience and people that don't know me. It's not Cash on the mic, KasOn on the mic. It's Cass on the mic. I know it's different.
One word?
But we mashed it up into one word.
But you have the capitals.
Exactly, the capitals
It's
to
very obvious which word is which.
Exactly.
People are just dumb, I guess.
It is what it is.
That's
It's
a,
part of the process
a topic
to
for a
come up.
different discussion, Henry.
We'll leave that one. We'll table that.
Yeah. We're going to need way more than the allotted time that we have for
For
this.
real. But yeah, and then Cass on the mic, since then it's stuck. Now we're here, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. And so, you've mentioned not only Lil Mex as a collaborator, but I Love Friday, right? So I love the collaborative nature of music. I think you even talked about it before, right? Like, how do you find collaborators? Like, what do you love about collaborating in general, right? Like, music in my mind is definitely a team sport, right? Not only from the creative side, but no artist makes it to any successful part of
By
their career by
themselves,
themselves, right?
of
So
course.
that's hands down, I think, a fact, right?
And
So
more
activated
time. One
the
more
one
time.
more
One
time.
more time.
Say that.
no
once
one,
more.
creatively or from a business perspective makes it on their own in the music
I
industry.
feel-
I mean, and that's pretty much across the board to all industries.
That's what I
right?
was about to say. In general, I think anything requires a team effort.
Sure.
Takes a village.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times one person is highlighted,
Sure.
but behind that one person was a good team, a good
Yep.
foundation. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do anything in life, you need to have a great foundation.
Yep.
Because
So-
if your foundation's not fucking solid, your building's gonna fucking collapse, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Big jam.
wrong sound effect.
Not to me.
So
I know what I'm doing with
So-
my hype squad over here.
so how do you choose collaborators, right? Like what makes a good collaborator for you?
See, like me,
Because I know you have a few regulars. We got one in the building here. Actually, we got two in the building here. We got Henry here,
Oh,
who
yeah.
I know you guys have worked together. We'll get into that in a minute.
sir.
We got Quentin Quo. Shout out Q. He's
Shout
in the
out
building.
Sir, in the building.
And
My
and
brother.
so not how do you pick collaborators, right? But in essence, how do you pick collaborators, right? Like
See-
like what do you look for? What makes a good teammate? I guess
That's
in the music
actually
space.
a great question, man, and I'm glad you asked me that because I'm not just like a person that you hit me up online like, yo, I love your style, like let's work. Like I'm a person that
Shout out to all those people hitting people up. Saying,
yeah, I mean that's work.
DM
That's-
me, let's
yeah.
work.
But it's like me, I'm like a person like, all right, if I do want to work with you, I want to create a personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I feel like that's what takes the song from, oh, I have a verse and you put a verse. to like a genuine, like, yo, we made this together.
So it's more so that like you do have to personally connect with the person.
Of course.
So I mean, to some degree, you have to like the person.
Yes, 100%.
They could be the most talented musician in the world, or
But
the most
if I
talented
don't-
artist,
yes.
producer, what have you.
Vibe.
But if
has
you
to be
don't,
there.
do you feel the same way? I mean,
Yeah, and to me, I think it's very important that you be open to everything initially, and just collaborating with as many people as possible. So I think you'll find out pretty quick if it's not working,
Of course.
and there's no real hurt in that, and you might find something that you didn't expect to work is your best stuff.
Real shit.
You know, so
Real shit.
being open to collaborating with even people that aren't in your genre or people you wouldn't expect.
And that's one thing I'm always about. Like, not saying that I'm not going to collaborate with people that hit me up like, yo, send me a verse. It's more like if they hit me up and saying that, I'm like, okay, I'll pull up to you or you'll pull up to me. It's not like I'm willing to work with you, but it's like I want to build that relationship too.
like you don't want it to be transactional.
Exactly.
In nature, right?
Exactly.
Like here's this beat, here's this verse. I do
forced.
this, you do that. Right?
Exactly,
And I'm not
like-
saying it can't work that way.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
I'm pretty
Like-
sure a lot of hits are done that way. That's just like the way I like working
Okay.
into collaborating things. You know what I'm saying? Like, perfect example of Q. Like, the first time we met, we made a tape in a week. Like, a whole tape.
Jeez, a whole tape.
A whole 7-song tape.
Do
It's
we have
called-
access to those
It's
songs?
on SoundCloud right now. Exclusive SoundCloud drop. It's called Casting Call. You know what I'm saying?
casting call.
Yeah, and it represents.
Sounds like
you
a
know,
different language. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, it's like cast as the casting and call with the Q as Q. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
the whole tape represents the nature of all the different styles that we have. And this is, mind you, the first time we ever met each other. You know what I'm saying? We made this happen. So it's like, it shows that when you find a genuine relationship and a genuine connection with anybody.
Q's crying in the corner, by the way.
He's loving this.
No, he's just shed a tear at least.
No,
At least
but
one.
that's real shit though. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
It goes to show like what you can create with somebody if you genuinely connect.
And when was that? Because you guys are still rocking with each
that
other,
was
obviously
probably like
today.
2016.
Okay, so
and
we're 5 years deep.
5 years deep.
All
I
right.
told Q in 16, just give me some 16s.
Ooh, all right. Hell yeah. Hell
Speaking of 16s,
yeah. So you know, that's
I think you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know where you're going. with that.
That's a perfect segue, I guess. So you and Q recently collaborated with our guy Henry here.
Man.
You got a record called 16 Shots.
16 with a blinking.
Yep. So first, I don't even know if I know the specific story. How did you meet Henry?
Oh man. So in what was it? I would like to say 2019. My boy Colgate.
shout out Colgate.
Yeah. Shout out Colgate, man. Another great artist, another great friend, man. He's family. He like Nick Fury'd a group of like Atlanta artists. I'm not gonna lie. He came to me after his show when I met him. He's like, yo, I'm trying to start a team of the greatest artists. And you're one of them.
Yeah, that's how I came in Henry.
Hey, real shit. So
It's an epic moment.
I was like, all right. So we started this whole thing called the Kollective, and we linked up. And in the Kollective, I met a dope artist called Trey the Plug. Man.
Shout out Trey the
Shout
Plug.
out Trey the Plug, man. He's a very dope artist, and
And just a good individual.
yeah, just a great person.
Great person.
Man. I love
Definitely.
him.
Kind of goes back to what you said as far as genuinely connecting with someone on a personal level. So.
Like, it's not only business. Like, I genuinely fuck with you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So Trey would always mention like, "Yo, y'all gotta meet my boy Henry. Like, he's dope. He got a studio." And he's like, "I recorded
Shout out
this
Henry.
with Henry." So I was like, "Hell yeah!" And one day he booked a session, and
Yeah.
it was here. And he's like, "Yo, you and Q gotta pull up just to meet H." And you know, we would record some shit. And we pulled up. It was
just amazing energy from the minute
from
they
the
walked
get
in the
go.
door.
Like I walked in, we met H. I was like, "Yo, can we smoke weed in here?" He's like, "Hell yeah!" I was sold that.
and that's all it needed. That's all it needed to be.
I was like, "We're making hits in this motherfucker."
You can roll up in here. So
Are there a
All
lot
your
of
worries.
studios that do not allow smoking? Or
Honestly,
Not
I would
really.
say,
Yeah, I was like-
and I mean, not saying
They
that.
exist.
We make hits anywhere,
right.
but it's just like it's a bonus, man. A lot of things that succeed have bonuses.
so, Henry, you know your value proposition now is providing an environment that's
all I'm
smoker
actually
friendly.
good for.
Yeah,
Ben is
I'm not even
the
a good
bar is
engineer or
set
producer.
very
Yeah.
low for that.
seriously. So
But you can smoke a
so
blunt.
y'all met 2 years ago. Had you done records before 16 Shots, or is this your first time actually collaborating?
No,
or?
the day we pulled up with Trey, we made a song called "Ice on My Body" that hasn't came out yet. That is a
2
hit.
years ago,
Yeah.
still hasn't come out. Do
Yeah.
we need to release that soon?
Oh,
Or?
It's
that's
definitely on the
coming.
docket.
Okay.
That's how saucy it is, and how much sauce we got in the back burner. That don't even touch the surface, you know.
There's a little vault building up.
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
So you have this one in the bank in the vault.
And we got it. Yeah,
16 Shots is actually the latest. song we
yeah,
made.
Yeah.
exactly. Like
It happened like that.
it was one of those moments. Me and Q had pulled up, and we always love having those moments where we don't plan anything. You know what I'm saying?
Zero
We-
prep.
No, it's just like to test your ability. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're tested the most in that moment. You know what I'm saying? And it shows
Pressure's on.
the true nature of an individual in that moment. It sharpens character, even if you fail or succeed. If you tried, that build character, that build initiative, that made you.
See, but that brings up an interesting point, because I think that creativity and the business of creativity is one of the only ones where you can do that. Like every other industry in my mind, like if I showed up to a meeting in a different industry, right, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to wing it today, right? Like the result is probably not going to be great. But
Yeah.
creativity,
I feel you on that.
I think you're right that some of the best product, if you will, music can be made with that,
Lack of preparation.
And you know what's a
with
great
just genuinely finding inspiration in the moment, right?
know what movie-
It doesn't translate very well to other fields, I would
Yes.
say,
No,
right?
I
I mean,
feel you.
I don't know. Do you guys agree?
I completely agree.
You
Yeah.
know what movie showed me like just do it and fuck it moment?
Nike?
This is one of my favorite movies, Forrest Gump. Shout out
Wow.
Tom Hanks. Like I love Forrest
No,
Gump.
that's a great one.
Shout out Forrest.
And I don't know if y'all remember that scene when he's like running and all the people are behind him, and the dude with the
course,
t-shirts.
of course.
It's like,
Yeah.
yo, I got this t-shirt and nobody's fucking with it, this and that. And Forrest is like, just give it to me. And he puts his face and it's a smiley face. Like, and then the smiley face ended up being one of the biggest things that ever sold. Like,
Yeah.
that scene alone showed a big like fuck it moment. Like the dude that sold shirts never would have thought that running to Forrest and him putting like his, you know what I'm saying? Even though his real face wouldn't put a smiley face, the symbology behind the whole scene is like, yo, just like fuck it. Like one situation can lead you to another. Just go do it. You don't fucking know.
The fuck it moment.
Yeah, like really.
That's a gem.
One more
Like
time.
that shit, and that's why I love that movie. Like that movie highlights a lot of like genuine topics, and like it could show
Oh,
you,
yeah.
nothing for something. Just be yourself, and highlight that humility inside people. You know what I'm saying? Just be humble. You feel me?
Sure. So your bio says the Rosetta Stone of music.
Oh shit.
What does that mean?
So
Because of course I have a opinion on it, but no, I'm curious what inspired that kind of like moniker, or whatever that is, description of you. I mean,
So I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it back a little bit. So when I changed my name to KasOnTheMic, I mean even before that, I was always like a very like hip hop head, like rap bars for bars, fucking Eminem shit, over the top shit. I always thought that was what hip hop, and it
Technical kind of.
yeah, in a way it is, but it's like art could be expressed in any way, you know what I'm saying? So out of years of making music, I'm like, yo, I'm fucking Hispanic. Like I'm Colombian. I got that culture in me. I grew up listening to salsa, bachata. Like I can't dance like that, but for sure I fucking, some sauce got to be inside this motherfucking blood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it. Like, let me try to make some Spanish shit or some Spanglish shit, like some shit right in between. And my bro, 2401, shout out 2401.
Shout out
Beats,
2401.
man. Very, very dope producer, very talented. one day he hit me up and he's like, yo, I have this dope like Spanish like guitar beat, like come through, let's see what we make with it. And I pulled up to his crib and he played the beat and I was like, oh my gosh, that shit is saucy. I was like, okay.
Stank face.
Yeah, like that ass. Like, you know, when you
That's
put
how
the
you know
stank
it's good.
face, it's
Stank
fire.
face or bust.
Exactly. So
Or if the reaction is like,
exactly. So he played that shit and I was like, all right, let's do it and let me mix both genres. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me merge the best of both worlds, because every coin got two sides to it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like nobody has really successfully found that medium. You know what I'm saying? Like, the closest person was probably Cardi B, and she still needed like artists like J Balvin and Bad Bunny to hop in a song to make it reach that international level. So it's like, what if I'm a mixture of all three of those artists in one person?
you're kind of perfectly split. So
Exactly. Like,
the American people can kind of learn something about the Latin culture, and the Latin people can kind of catch on to some American English things.
And you hit the nail on the head, H. I was really like, I was like, okay, let's make this first song and let's name it Spanglish. You know what I'm saying? So when I created the hook, I made a Spanish hook and I made an English hook. And both hooks were the same exact thing. So English, you know what I'm saying? So a listener that only spoke English would understand it, but when they heard the Spanish part, they're subconsciously learning a language without even knowing.
Both sides are learning.
So to answer Ben's question, that's how I'm the Rosetta Stone of music.
I like it.
They ain't ready for that.
So
Great answer.
So I know that previously your bio mentioned, actor in it.
Man.
So, do you currently act? Have you been in school plays, movies, TV shows? I mean, or is acting like a aspiration of yours where you want to be an actor? Like, tell us about, like, how does that actually play into your plan here?
Acting and music are like yin and yang in my life.
Okay.
Like, both of those things are very, very, like, dope to me. Like, I see musicians and I'm like, wow, you can take this sound and make it a body of work and inspire people. And then I see actors and I'm like, yo, you could be this one person and then see this role and embody it and kill it like if that was you. You know what I'm saying?
So who's your favorite actor?
Oh man, that's a list. I love Will Smith. I love Tom Hanks, of course. I mentioned Forrest Gump.
Didn't Will Smith play a part in our
on the
16
intro
shots,
to 16 shots?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Please don't sue us.
So was that Cass's idea, or did it just somehow magically?
No, that's what's crazy. H just put that on there. I'm like, I fucking love Will Smith.
So
I hope we don't get sued.
I thought I was just mixing the record, and I kind of blacked out. And by the time I was done with it, Will Smith was in the intro.
Shit's great.
Shout
Shit's
out
great.
Big Willie.
So
Big
we
Willie
love you,
style.
man. We know you understand. Like, you inspired us to put that in there. I don't
Hell
think
yeah. You spoke some real truth.
we don't have to get lawyers involved in this.
Yep. So what's up next for you? Do you have any upcoming releases you want to shout out? Anything you want to, make sure the people are aware of kind of what you're up to coming up?
We got actually a new track coming out that we recorded back when we were doing Kollective stuff that we about to drop, called Party Next Door.
Okay.
Produced by Mad Soul, a very dope producer.
Shout out Mad Soul.
And me, Quentin Quo, and Koge are in that shit, and it's about to go crazy, man. That shit's like the next summer vibe. Now that everything's opening back up, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Party Next Door.
the party's next door, you know, right there.
We're mingling now. We're back to mingling.
Exactly.
Walking around the neighborhood, popping in parties next door.
Yeah, that's some real ass shit.
Everybody stream Party Next Door on 420.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like by the time this come out, it'll probably be
about
there.
right.
So stream that shit.
Stream it right now.
Stream that shit right now.
Good shit. And so I think that we've come to an interesting part of the episode that we're going to try out here in our inaugural episode of the One More Time Music Podcast.
Oh boy.
Something that
we go.
Henry wanted to include as part of our kind of typical format. So
So the working title is the Rapid Fire Rampage. And when you hear the sound, you know it's time for the rapid fire rampage.
I love moments like these.
It's going to be kind of like a rapid fire. I'm going to ask, it's split in two halves. The first half, I'm going to ask you some quick questions. Give me quick answers. The less you think, the better.
Let's do it.
Should be very natural. The second half, I'm going to say one word, and you give me one word back. First one off the top of your head.
Let's do it.
So, give me one project, mixtape, EP, or album in your top 5 of all time.
J. Cole, Friday Night Lights.
Give me a nickname that most people wouldn't know.
Tito. That's what my mom calls me.
Tito.
Tito.
What's your favorite ad-lib?
Yurt.
Favorite dessert?
That's between ice cream and cheesecake. So either or.
Both fantastic choices. I'm not mad at that one at all. Favorite part of a beat?
The intro. If you don't got a good intro, you won't never reel me in. Even if the beat is fire.
That's really cool because I was thinking like it would be like a part of the beat, but he like the bass.
He literally
or
just
the lead,
took
but
it
he
more
took-
of like
yeah.
a space.
This is going fantastic already. Give us one of the dumbest things you ever did.
Blacking out in Athens in my sriracha suit.
Wow.
See, when he started that, I was like, okay, we've all blacked out in Athens. If you're from Atlanta or have lived in Atlanta, you've been to Athens, Georgia. Yeah. Athens has beat your ass, and you've done some blackout shit.
A lot of blackouts in Athens.
But I don't think that many people have done it in a sriracha suit.
The sriracha suit.
Yeah, that takes it. That takes it to another level.
Okay, let's go on the flip side.
Let's do it.
One of the best decisions you ever made.
Pursuing my dream and being an artist.
Love that, man. Love that. Give it to him one more time.
One of the best decisions I've ever made is pursuing my dreams and doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I suggest you do the same thing.
I love it. Give us one entry on your bucket list.
That was my feature with Michael Jackson, but we all know what happened with that.
Maybe a posthumous.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
It's going to cost a lot, but
you know, I just want to do this music stuff and inspire people to be the best version of themselves. You know what I'm saying?
It's awesome.
It's usually like skydiving or, you know,
go to
Machu Picchu in Peru.
It's like harder to prove.
But no, I think that actually,
entry, but it's nice.
No, and I think that really like speaks volumes about Cass,
His
right?
character, right? It does.
Like, who says that on their bucket list? I mean, that's incredible, right? Like, you really do, and that's the energy you give off. I mean, you really challenge me to be the best version of myself. I mean, Henry loves working with you because of that same reason, right? Like,
wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So, anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the first half of the rampage.
That's some real shit, though. Hell yeah, I'm glad y'all feel that way too, my brothers.
On to the second half of Rampage. This is going to be a one-word association, so just give me one word back.
Let's do it.
The less you think, the better. Here we go.
Thinking cap.
Off. Exactly. Removed. Here we go. Music.
Artist.
Money.
Bank account.
Children.
Don't have them yet.
He said, fuck the one-word answers.
Bass.
Guitar.
Sleep.
None.
Taco.
Eat.
Kanye.
The best.
What a rampage.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Cass on the mic. We appreciate you coming on. This has been an amazing start to hopefully an amazing journey for the One More Time Music Podcast. For everyone out there streaming, watching, listening, please like, please subscribe, please follow us on wherever it is that you're listening to this episode. This will be the first of a weekly series called the One More Time Music Podcast. We're going to have interesting guests like Cass on the mic every week, so tune in. Appreciate you guys listening, and until then, we are out.
Tap in.
Bitch.
Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Hop up in that foreign skirt, no. All the homie, this shit tripping, no. Middle finger to the law.